Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host, Red. I got a video today from Shaq Clips. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get that. Ciao. Ciao, ciao.
Okay, so why would you do that? Who was it?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Shaq Clips here once again, and today's just some crazy clips of the worst single mothers I can find. And like always, guys, my favorite clip will be at the end, but in this first one, it is absolutely horrible. This man is going to jail for not paying child support for a kid that's not even his.
Imagine being told to pay child support for a kid that is not yours or go to jail. That was the order the state handed down to a Detroit man.
So today, he turned himself in, but here's what happened when 7 Action News reporter Kim Russell went with him to court.
Carnell Alexander walked into the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice knowing in moments he could lose his freedom.
I stayed up all night, couldn't sleep, thinking about it.
Carnell is a wanted man because he refuses to do what the state orders and to pay child support for a child that DNA tests prove isn't his. A child he doesn't even know.
I haven't even had a chance to really speak to him except for one time when we took the DNA test.
Nonetheless, right now, under the law, he's a deadbeat dad. Today, he turned himself in to the judge as ordered.
Scared because I've been before this judge before.
But this time he had attorney Cherika Harris, who volunteered to help after seeing his story on 7 Action News. The judge said he will not go to jail for today.
Thank you. Thank Ms. Harris. And hope that we...
This is why lawyers are so important when it comes to some of these things, but I know they're very expensive. Most of us can't afford them.
can resolve this soon.
I'm just trying to help him with his future.
Though the threat of jail is on hold, it is not over. Carnell Alexander still owes more than $30,000 to the state for a child that's not his because the mom wrote his name down because she needed to name someone in order to get welfare benefits.
And I had to put him down as the father. That was the only way I can get assistance.
Now,
I'm almost homeless. I'm almost in jail. I'm out of work.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what the real root cause of this is. Did this man just mess around with a woman who was a single mother and she wrote his name on the documents just so she can get support from the government? Or was...
No, I think they were sleeping around a bit and then she got pregnant and he was like the only name she can think of, so she put him down.
Is there some infidelity going on? Regardless of what the real reason is, I'm not sure how the government can have rules and laws in place like this. Like, go find the real baby daddy and hold him accountable, not this random dude.
Those of you who are in Tennessee, guess what? House Bill 2689 is getting ready to pass. That is requiring paternity tests before you sign the birth certificate. Because, you know, when people do paternity tests, 1/3 of the time, they end up not being the father. And if they start testing everybody, that number can only go up, not down. They're actually starting to jail time the ladies for maternity fraud because it is such a rampant crime. And yes, it's a crime.
Hallelujah. This needs to go nationwide, but at least it's the first step.
Yeah, guys, pay attention to what he just said. 1/3 of all DNA tests ever done end up not being the father's. That is an important fact I'm going to be mentioning throughout the video.
So now you don't want to go back to work. You just want to find a man that will marry you and provide for you and your children.
Yeah.
How you want to...
Just look, yeah. Like, as she's so entitled to a 6 foot, 100K black man.
Look. How you want him to look? How should this man look?
He gotta be black. And
Black? Okay. Hold on a second. I'm gonna write down all this.
He gotta be like 6 feet.
He gotta be black? Okay, hold on. All right. So you gotta be black?
Yeah, he gotta be black, cause
Black. What's your ethnicity?
I'm Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican. He gotta be 6 feet, right?
About, yeah.
He gotta make a certain amount of money?
Yeah, he do. He gotta make over 100K.
Yeah, so the clip does go on for a bit, but I'm ending it here. I just can't listen to this nonsense anymore.
Again, guys, it's so bad out there that even tortas like this, laying in their bed, going online, spouting that they want a black 6 foot man that makes over 100K. The world's crazy. Women are crazy. They really think they're the prize.
It really started to get worse and worse, excluding her looks. But with the baggage she brings along, being unemployed and having 2 kids, you have no right to make any standards. She's clearly on feminist TikTok too much, and she needs a really good taste of reality.
It is a man's role to provide.
Okay.
Yeah. If everyone keeps talking about the traditional roles, then
Yeah.
I guess it is a man's job to
So
provide.
if it's a man's role to provide,
yeah.
will you take care of the house?
Of course.
Okay. So you will cook, clean, support him?
No.
No?
I will hire someone to do it.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I sense a bit of double
no,
standard
but if
there.
I can
Okay, so
afford
not
it,
cook
if
clean.
my man can afford it, then why? I'm giving
Okay, so
birth
but
to
what
your
will you-
kids,
what-
no?
what-
Obviously, if I want to work, I want to have my own side thing. I would love to, but it's not going to be to bring.
I mean, I've done that episode on the Indian community or culture. Yeah, there are horrible women out there that just are much gold diggers, and laws over there are worse than the laws over here. Or they took laws over here and used the laws, and then used laws over there, and then now
money in the house.
Okay, so what's the woman's role?
Taking care of the children,
Taking
giving
care of
birth.
the child. So raising the children.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, that's fair, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
to
we
a certain
agree
extent,
with
that's fair. Like, you can hire someone to cook, but you can't hire someone to take.
This has to be some kind of rage bit, especially since the other man was defending this in a sense. Traditional men deserve traditional women. If a woman
Correct.
wants a man who is gonna provide, pay all the bills, be so-called masculine traditional man, he needs a
if you want a man that's that rich to just pay for maids and cooks and stuff like that, then what the hell does he need you for?
traditional woman as well. Stop thinking that you could just replace the job by hiring someone else.
Yeah, women really think that money can replace everything. People, protection, role models. Nice! Wait, what are you doing? What's up with all this?
Look at what I got you, bud.
Doing this at a kid's birthday party? Who's messing around with these kind of women and getting them
I don't know. I was all excited about the Spider-Man Power Wheels.
pregnant? So sad.
Single mother, I've had this theory, and I just
Actually, speaking of Power Wheels, my friend's birthday, or my good friend's, their first daughter's birthday is coming up, and I'm getting her like a little pink Jeep Power Wheel just to match her dad, because her dad has a Jeep. I thought it was cute.
just need some other single moms or some people that are in separations and have kids to tell me if this is true. Is it true that after you become a single mom, you decide that you're choosing your kids and you're no longer going to do life for trying to find a spouse or significant other, and that a lot of single moms end up getting out of relationships and never getting back in them? So I used to see women who were just like gorgeous and with kids, and they were by themselves, and I was always like, yo, is this woman not like with a man? Is she not gonna get a man? And they raise up their kids and they're like older and they're still by themselves.
Yep.
So I came up with this theory, and I just think that single moms, I'm a single mom, I haven't really reached there yet, but I just feel like maybe they decide that they're no longer.
They don't decide crap. What are you talking about? It's the selection that they have now. Men don't want them. Doesn't matter how gorgeous you are, you still come with so much baggage. Who wants to wife you up?
They're going to put themselves out there because they're choosing their kids.
Yeah, guys, I'm starting to see a trend here. Usually, women who are single mothers, or honestly just women in general, overemphasize how much looks matter. Meaning, they think that just because a woman is beautiful,
Correct.
she deserves to be with a man who loves her and respects her. But that's just not the case. Yes, looks definitely matter. It draws in attention, that's for sure. But it doesn't keep a man. Just because a single mother is so-called beautiful, doesn't mean men are gonna start flocking to her and take on the responsibility. That should be an obvious. Kind of prove my point what I just said in the previous clip. Yeah, looks will get you attention, but doesn't mean a man's gonna feed into it.
Husband got a paternity test on our 5-year-old daughter and it came back negative, and now he wants a divorce.
If you falsely accuse a man of being your baby's daddy, it's called parentage fraud, and it's no joke.
About time something like this actually exists. Hold these women accountable and send them to prison.
If he can't afford to buy you an outfit, get your nails done, your hair done.
What?
What?
If you a simp, just say that shit.
I mean, again, the older gentlemen in the older generation are definitely a lot more simpy. It's just that chivalrous code that's in them, but they also dealt with quite different women too.
Ain't nobody doing all of that for a first date.
Yeah, that guy in the first clip is gonna realize the hard way that simping gets you absolutely nowhere.
I hate when you don't behave. I hate when you gave me to dad. It's confusing.
Flawless victory. Gotta love kids, man. They're just absolutely pure
Like
and
I said,
honest.
I always love kids. They always tell the truth.
Asked, would you date a single mother? You proceeded to tell me that you're a high value man and you are too good for a single mother. However, you did also tell me that you were raised by a single mother, which is profound for me to think that a single mother's not good enough for you, but it's good enough for a woman to raise you. That's unfair. And it's very insensitive to women out there who have children.
You're a very intelligent woman, right?
Yes.
So if you know, as a woman growing up, you know there's a less likelihood for you to be successful by having a child. So what you do, you be more proactive. Using condoms.
What's that got to do with your choice?
Okay, if you're getting pregnant, then all right, cool. Maybe I shouldn't continue having this child because I'm not getting married. Because women can choose and make a
Correct.
choice. They can say, I don't.
This is what I always say. Like, they have this choice, but they don't choose it, and they fight for the right to delete their babies constantly. And whoever said that I advocated for it, you're an idiot. I've never advocated for it. I always say women fight so staunchly for it, but when it comes to paternity test and when it comes to this far in, they've never exercised it, and they just keep the baby and then screw everything else up. But they fought so hard for that right.
I want to date a man that makes less than 6 figures.
But we're not talking about that. That's not the situation at hand.
Listen, hold on.
That's not the
Woman can say, I want to date a man less than 5'8", and the man could be 5'4". Do they care about
what does that have to do
ostracizing all of those
with
men?
anything?
So every time it's saying something for a man,
bro,
it's down.
You got a lot on your back.
Yeah.
The car you drive, your resume, your bank account, your accolades is not what makes you a high value man.
Definitely not.
We are all defined by the sum of our deeds and our character. And you, brother, are
Correct. Some of our deeds. So past matters.
Coming up to the sum of zero.
Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of feminist video this is. This is complete nonsense and garbage. That man was spitting facts. Just because you were raised by a single mother doesn't mean you suddenly should be open to single mothers. You should still want to attain a woman.
Yeah, like you were raised poor in the slum. Does that mean I want to raise my kids poor in the slum even though I made it? It doesn't make sense.
Who doesn't have kids. Not force that man to take on a responsibility of another man. He was trying to prove a point saying that women are able to have preferences and not get demonized for it, but when a man has a preference, and a very logical one, like not want to date a single mother, he gets made fun of and demonized for it. Makes no sense at all.
I still love you. Please forgive me. Sorry for everything.
Yeah, that guy definitely cheated, and honestly, this was well deserved.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy DDG, man. I'm linking with Dr. Dorfman to give away 2 BBLs.
That's right.
So before we...
Who are making these Twitch streamers famous? You could have done so much better things with that money, but you decide to do this?
I think that men that are frustrated that women want guys that are providers are feminine. That's it. It doesn't make you more masculine to be like, I shouldn't have to pay for her nails. I shouldn't have to pay for my girl's dinner. That doesn't make you more masculine. That makes you a bitch. Are you a man or are you going to be a bitch? I don't know.
I think a man can say the exact same thing about women. The only type of women who say constantly they need a man who is a provider are usually always broke. Get this simp out of here.
When did TikTok become a dating site? Hear me out. So I get hundreds of messages every single day. Granted, I will not reply to any of you. I'm sorry. But I do see them all. And the amount of messages that I get that say, oh, we'd be so good together. Oh, you're so beautiful, but I live in Finland. I live in Ireland. All these other places. Or, you're so beautiful, but I'm a bit too old for you. Like, appreciate it, but babe,
Simps.
never once stated that I'm looking for anybody. Like, this is not a dating site. And a little FYI, I would never date anyone from TikTok. Ever. Like, no exception.
Well, social media in general is overall like a dating app. Instagram, the way the like is a heart shape, and overall pretty much any other app out there.
That is interesting that every other thing out there is like some kind of heart-shaped stuff, where at least, you know, YouTube is just a thumbs up.
really is almost created to get two people together. But let's all be honest here, this woman is lying to herself. She is saying she would never date someone on social media. You're saying that now until a man with 1 million followers comes your way and tries giving you a little follow.
You're gonna hate me for this, but I unfortunately think it's true. In dating, I think it's very appropriate and necessary for women to have a roster. More accurately, it's important for women to rotationally date, meaning they're going on dates with several men at a time. Whereas for men, it's really important to focus on one girl at a time. I know you guys are gonna go.
So all the benefits go to the women. Every single guy, because men are just focusing all their attention onto one woman, but woman gets to focus all their attention and gets ran through by as many men as they want.
Go into cardiac arrest, so let me explain myself. The reason being has a lot to do with how men and women operate and how different we are when it comes to relationships.
It should be flipped around then, if that's how you're gonna say things.
And attachment. I think generally women have a tendency to get attached easily, especially when we're spending a lot of one-on-one time with one specific person. But I do think, and I'm also speaking from experience with myself, seeing only one person makes it really easy to get attached to that person, even before you've fully vetted value, high quality. Whereas with men like a conquest. Men are hunters. They're the ones that are going to see what they want and go and get it. If they're doing that with multiple women, they are spreading themselves out too thin, and they're gonna give each woman like 50% of the pursuing effort.
You're literally saying what you're doing to women. You're spreading themselves out too thin. That now they can't focus on one man and attach themselves to a man because they spread themselves out too thin. So instead of trying to hone them in, you want to hone men in and let them have free reign. We can see what you're doing. It's obvious.
How can you prove yourself to that woman that you're willing to invest in her and invest in a relationship with her? Like, how are you as a man who's seeing multiple women going to stand out to that woman that you're pursuing and giving her 100% pursuing power? Whereas
and how are women supposed to do the same thing, you idiots?
You're only giving it 50%.
This just makes me
you don't measure up. And
it makes me like rage bait a little bit. Like, oh, like you are purposely saying these things to either make me upset or just to be dumb.
You're distracted. Now, me personally, I am not a rotational dater.
So she says all of this just to basically say that she's not like that at the end of the clip. Thank you for wasting all of our time. But what she's saying is utter garbage. Women should not be going around giving other men attention, possibly sleeping with them as well, so she could vet them out. That makes no sense. If two people are talking, they should be exclusive to one another. But let me show you guys a clip of a woman who tried following this advice.
A relationship status.
It's very complicated. I'm in, I guess, a situationship. Well, a couple of situationships for 2 to 4 years.
It's like you're dating multiple guys at the same time?
Yes.
Some guy DM'd me, he's like, a girl who's gonna be on the show today, who's coming on, is my girlfriend, and she's been cheating on me.
Sounds about right. Yeah. No, not me, but that's my best friend, so.
Okay.
Yeah, so this woman so-called has a bunch of situationships, pretty much doing the vetting process, you can say. But in reality, she's just sleeping around with a bunch of men. Overall, this is just an excuse to sleep around, use men up, and move on to the next.
This guy was devastated to learn his wife was cheating on him, but he never expected a crazy law to give him the last laugh. You see, Keith King had been married to Danielle for 5 years when he found intimate texts on her phone with Francisco Huizar. When Keith confronted his wife, she insisted they were just friends. But since Keith didn't believe her, he just told Francisco himself, never contact my wife again. But although Keith thought his message was clear, Francisco just actually started secretly staying in a hotel near their house. Every time Keith was out of town, he would come over. And when Keith finally walked in on them one day, he was just heartbroken.
She's my wife, man! She's my wife! You're picking him over me now?
I don't want this.
Although he had been trying to save their marriage for his daughter, he finally got divorced. But although he had no idea what to do, that's when he realized he could actually sue Francisco. There's actually an obscure law that makes it illegal to intentionally destroy someone's happy marriage. But since it's considered outdated, it's been abolished in every state except 6, including North Carolina. So Keith just began collecting every message, post, phone record, and hotel receipt he could find proving malicious intent. And a judge later ordered Francisco to pay Keith $8.8 million in damages.
So why did we get rid of this law?
Damn.
In the other states, why is this not everywhere? I hate cheating so much, and I genuinely think any act of cheating, paternity fraud, should be a criminal offense. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, a person who is, let's say, in the military or a cop can actually lose his job over infidelity. So why are we not holding everything else to that standard?
I mean, I don't think it should be illegal, but It's a bad thing.
Yeah, we already talked.
OG, my girl left me for her ex, and I'm calling her daily, but she's not taking my calls.
About this.
Stop.
You're not him. You have to understand. Before she met you, she put in 5-10 years with somebody else, maybe a baby daddy, whatever it is. Now she got with you, hoping that he get his stuff together, and if he get his stuff together, which he did, she left you. She left you because he got his stuff together that she think. And what's gonna happen? He's gonna dog her out again. And guess what she gonna do? She gonna come running back to you, and you gonna take her back.
This advice is very true, especially if she got dumped. Meaning, her ex didn't want her, so she ended up finding someone else. She will always have that ex in the back of her mind, and will always go back to him if he ever gives her the opportunity. Overall, just don't mess around with women who had a lot of exes.
She called me cute and was like, she asked for my number.
And what the f you said?
What do you mean? I said thank you, and I was like, I mean, I have a girl, but I give you my number as a friend. She's like, okay, that's fine.
The f you mean as a friend? ¿Qué carajo te pasa a ti?
As a friend, like, I need you.
Ay, ahora tú vas a ser amigo de esta pendeja.
I never depend.
Por favor.
We need more friends, and
You need more friends. No,
See, I don't understand much Spanish, but I understood the pendeja part.
You don't. You have enough friends, so fuck, you don't need 10 fake friends.
Okay, I mean, I gave her my number. Where you?
Okay, so why would you do that?
Because
who was it?
So the girl, the worker, whatever.
Déjate llevar la puta esta, que tú ves como la
Where you
verga que
going?
You said the worker, what she look like?
She's the cashier.
Sé que tú eres más estúpido por darle número, cabrón.
What you finna do? Bro, come back.
So guys, I am not a Spanish speaking person. I don't know what the stuff she was saying, but if you guys do understand what she was saying, translate it for me in the comments, because I'm pretty sure she said, hey, if you do this one more time, you're going to the streets.
Yeah, that's what we doing. That's what we doing. That's what we doing. That's what we're doing. You really a bum.
If I'm weird, why you with me?
Because
if I'm weird, why you with me?
Because
How am I bum? If I'm a bum, why you with me? You're a bum, why you with me then? Why you with me then? Why are you with me then? Why are you with me then?
That's why I'm pregnant. That's why I'm pregnant. What you talking about?
Well, whose baby?
It's yours.
It ain't his.
No. I don't believe you saying right now.
Okay.
Cause you just made that move. How you gonna throw that on me right now? You pregnant, but you was just finna fold. You just folded, not even finna. You just folded. I wonder how many times you done folded.
And
that ain't my
I
child.
have cheated on you.
My child.
Maybe I have cheated on you. Though.
Okay,
maybe
that's
I have
the person you cheated on me.
Maybe I have.
It ain't my shit. It ain't my shit. It ain't my shit.
But I cheated on you multiple times, even with your brother.
So why the
you talking about? You talking about? Yeah, nigga.
The brother? Come on, man.
You lying ass.
There aren't many moments where I would say a man should be crying, but this is not one of them. This was absolutely heartbreaking, and he had every single right to get emotional. But he did do something correctly, which is make a claim that this kid is not his. And I'm praying to God it's really not. If she's really been cheating and sleeping around with this many people, including his brother, the odds are pretty high that it's not his kid. But regardless, get your DNA test done, and don't be stuck raising a kid that's not even yours.
DNA test needs to be done. I mean, 1/3, right? That's a huge number of people, by the way, that are living without their fathers or don't know who their true fathers are. That's crazy. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. And I catch you in the next